this is probably one of the undisputed wine tools in your arsenal. So no, I don't mean all of the other fancy hydraulic, battery operated, rechargeable openers, aerators, everything else. I'm talking about a simple corkscrew. It is a model of just good design. And as much as we get asked all the time about what kind of cool openers and things we use to open wine, when we have to open wine, this is it. And when you find most wine professionals, servers, sommeliers, everybody has one of these stashed away. They may not be pretty and gold like ours, but they have them. And it is because it has everything you need to open a bottle of wine successfully, easily, without any funny gadgets or gimmicks to it. And for ladies, it's great to carry around in your purse if you happen to be going on with wine or going someplace where you may need to open a bottle. And I also keep one in my suitcase at all times. So it's one of those things, like I have different sizes of suitcase for when I'm traveling, and I always keep a corkscrew like this one in there, because surprisingly, a lot of hotels still do not have decent corkscrews in the room, partly because they don't stay in the room, or they don't, or they just don't have enough outside of their hotel restaurant that they can kind of lend out to people on an ongoing basis. And I may get sometimes stuck with some cheap or well-loved and well-used openers that never seem to open it. So I wanted to do a quick little demo just to show you how to use this thing so that you can practice at home and get a little more confident. Okay, so first of all, open it up and so you can see all the little parts in it. So I'm gonna go forward here. So there's a little knife, that's to cut the foil. This little hinge has a built-in knuckle is a two-step thing. This is the handle, it looks like a handle. And then of course the screw part on the bottom, which goes in the cork. Now you can get some fancy ones when you get to be well-versed and strong enough to open bottles without all of these other gadgets, but these three things help open this thing. So first thing you're gonna do is use this knife, and just to make it easier so you don't hurt yourself, I close everything in and just leave the knife open. So this is a bottle that we've been using Coravin, which is our wine preservation system, so it still has the cork and foil on it. So I'll show you how quickly it is to use it. So you're gonna take the knife, and there's two different ways that you can do this. Actually, three different ways to remove the foil. You can be fancy and just run it along the very top of the foil, kind of like you're taking off a little cap, and then using the side of the knife, just pull it off. However, it's even easier. There's a built-in groove usually underneath this first lip of the bottle that you could also run it around. And then just by scraping one side, it kind of peels off. And then if you want to make it even easier, you can just slice it down the side after that if you're worried about how it's looking, and just remove the foil completely. So our most servers don't take the time or need to take off all the foil off of it, but it's mostly just so that you can access the cork and still make it look nice. Now there's another fancy way of doing it, and if I can find the video to show you a close-up on how to do this later, but you can actually remove the outside of the foil and then just an interior part of the foil to lift it off. When you take the cork off, you can actually store the cork in the little foil ring that's left. It's actually kind of cool, but you don't need to know that today. So now open back up again so that you have your cork part, because now the cork is exposed, right? The screw part. So you're gonna put in a little bit, and so you don't need to put this on a table or anything, because sometimes you could scratch the table surface. And you're gonna push it down till it's about, you can see a couple of little screws still remaining at the top. Essentially, you want it so this first knuckle part can easily balance on the side of the neck of the bottle. You can see that there, okay? So now the bottom part of the knuckle is balanced against the bottle, so use that for leverage, and you're going to pull up the handle as far as it goes and keep it like that. So now, just because of the way it's designed, when you lift it up and then you push the new part of the knuckle. The second part, the lower part that you had your thumb on the first time, now that fits on the top of the bottle, and you can slowly remove the rest. Now, there are a lot of corks that are really long. It's just the way that some of them are made. So you don't get cork breaking because you just assume that the cork must be finished by now. Just to be on the safe side, we always instruct people, servers, whoever's opening bottles in front of us, to leave it at that part, and now you can kind of remove it with the rest with your hand. Less chance of you breaking a long cork and leaving the bits in the bottle, because then otherwise you have to start finding it out, and it's a bit of a pain. So, and then that's basically it. It's easy as that. So as much as you may be wanting to invest in all the fancy tools or anything, all you really need is a really good waiter's corkscrew. If you're searching for them, make sure you read reviews from people who have purchased them before. There are some that are out there that are still being sold very cheap and in bulk that still only have the one knuckle. Or they may find that the cork, the screw part is too short, so it's not getting the right length. A properly balanced corkscrew that has been well designed will have really rave reviews on it, and won't cost $1. So make sure you grab a couple when you do find them, stash them all over the place and get practicing, and you can amaze everybody with your skill of opening a bottle.